Welcome back, friends, to another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Lids87 here, and in today's video, we're going to be recapping Desch and Yang to see how worthy they are of your tickets and or gems. Before I start talking about them, though, credit where credit is due to this Dissidia database, Dissidia Compendium, Materia Bot, and Anton Labs on Reddit, as this is where I pull my information from. I'm going to leave those links down below in the description if you would like to check them out for yourselves. So we're going to be getting Desch's Lost Chapter, so let's go ahead and talk about him first. He's going to be making a comeback with his LD weapon. He has had it from his debut in Opera Omnia. And those not familiar with Desch, he's going to be receiving LD boards. He is a magic melee support type character with utility built into his kit in the form of paralysis. He can inflict thunder resist down on his enemies while enchanting your party members with thunder while also increasing their stats. So the way you're going to be playing Desch is that you're going to be alternating between his first and second ability buffs, his primary buffs, depending on the enemy type. So with his first ability Blitz Shear and his second ability Plasma Stroke. Both of these abilities are pretty similar in terms of what they do. They will both Brave Heal and HP Heal your party members. They will both inflict Thunder Resist down on Desch's targets for 4 turns, but they will dispel the other ability's buff upon use. So for example, upon using Plasma Stroke, this will grant Desch anti-physical area for 8 turns. On the following turn, if you use Blitz Shear, that will dispel anti-physical area and then grant Desch anti-magic area instead for 8 turns. So you can only have one of these buffs up at a time. Both of these buffs are actually pretty similar also, except one key aspect. Both of these buffs will grant your party members plus 40% to attack and max brave. They will both grant your party members Thunder Enchant, so non-elemental units can fully benefit from this because Desch can inflict Thunder Resist down. The main difference is that with anti-magic area, this will grant your party members 80% magic brave damage resist, less brave damage from magic type damage, and this is also carried over to the call effect. With anti-physical area, it's the complete opposite. This one instead will grant your party members 80% physical brave damage resist. So like I said, depending on the enemy damage type, that's the buff up that you're gonna that's the buff that you're gonna want to have up with Desch, and then just spam the other ability to Brave Heal and HP Heal your party members. Now, some other things in Desch's kit is that he has another debuff and he does have a LD buff. So with his other debuff that he can inflict with his EX ability, Ancient Thunderclap, it's called Ancient Technique for 4 turns. The potency of this will vary depending on the duration left on it. So every time it ticks down towards expiration, the potency goes down. So this is going to be a max brave down framed buff that is going to start off with 60% max brave down, and then it's going to go down to 40%, 20%, 10%. So whenever his EX ability is up, just use it to refresh the duration of Ancient Technique. With his LD ability buff, with his LD ability Electric Floor, he will grant himself Electric Area for 8 turns. That is going to improve your party's elemental weakness damage by 40%, allowing them to hit harder. After an enemy acts, there is a 25% chance to inflict paralysis on that target for 1 turn, so it can come in clutch, especially if the enemy does not resist paralysis. If that does not trigger, if that 25% chance does not trigger, instead that enemy will be inflicted with a 40% defense down for 1 turn. With his LD boards, this is going to improve Electric Area. But first, when the quest starts, he will gain access to his Electric Area buff right off the bat. So you can use his ability, use his EX ability, just to get your buffs up. And then when Electric Area is about to run out, then use his LD ability. So the improvements Electric Area is going to be seeing is that the elemental weakness damage is going to be improved by 20%, so 60% totals, allowing any form of elemental weakness damage to hit harder. It doesn't have to be thunder, it could be any form of elemental weakness damage, so Desch can fit beautifully in elemental teams, especially if those other units can inflict the resistance down for their own element. And on top of that, there is going to be a 30% party HP damage reduction. So Desch is coming into the game with more survivability. His LD call action 4 turns, it's going to have the paralysis chance thing. So whenever the enemy acts, 25% chance to inflict paralysis. If not, instead they will be inflicted with that 40% defense down for 1 turn. When it comes to the worthiness of Desch, I'm going to put him at worthy of your tickets and or gems depending on your needs. Desch has survivability, brave damage reduction, HP damage reduction, especially depending on the damage type. He can brave and HP heal your party members, and he is an enabler that he can inflict Thunder Resist down, Thunder Enchant your party members, while also increasing the elemental weakness damage up. And that's not just with thunder damage type, it could be with any elemental damage type as long as they're hitting that weakness damage. On top of that utility with that 25% chance to paralyze your enemies. Alright friends, so I would say if you are missing someone like Desch, then I would consider throwing resources outside of the free multi-draw, as it's possible you could pick it up for free. Especially if you're a new player, I would recommend that you guys try to pick up someone like Desch. If you're going to be skipping out on Desch, he does make a comeback on Yuna's Burst banner later down the line during her debut. On the other banner, that's going to be also featuring Gao's LD. So it's going to be Yuna's Burst, Desch's LD, Gao's LD. But I am going to say during that time frame, you're going to be wanting to pull on the other banner, because that other banner is Yuna's LD and Burst debut, and Yuna is an excellent support type character with her LD and Burst weapon. So I would say this banner right here is the perfect banner to pick up Desch if you have yet to do so. All right, friends. So again, at the end of the day, Desch is worthy of your tickets and or gems, depending on your needs and your units that you have in your roster. Now, the other unit on this banner is going to be Yang. Them abs, though. Gosh damn, way to lower my self-esteem, bro. Yeah, I gotta do push-ups or crunches or something. All right, so Yang, he is going to be receiving a rework, and he's going to be receiving an LD weapon. He is a melee AoE attacker that loves to kick the living shit out of his enemies. That's what he does. Something built into his kit with his crystal passives at C50. He does have the capabilities to counter the enemy, 70% chance to counter upon receiving damage or evading an attack, just throwing that out there. The way Yang plays is that just you press buttons, he kicks enemies like he kicks. That's literally what he does. If his kick, his first ability, is not in its plus form, use the second ability focus to upgrade his first ability into its plus form and then kick away. Another thing that his second ability can do for Yang is that upon using focus, this will grant him his 2 generic buffs, 100% max brave up and 60% attack up. All right, friends, remember, kick is not in his plus form. Use the second ability focus to upgrade his first ability kick. Plain and simple. His other buff that he can grant himself is coming from his EX ability, Twin Wing Frenzy, and it's called Wife's Encouragement for 3 turns. He can only grant this to himself if he is attacking, if he breaks the enemy with his EX ability, or if the target is already broken. What Wife's Encouragement is going to do for Yang is that this is going to further improve his attack by 50%, improve his stolen max brave overflow by 30%, so more AoE damage, yay. Increase his brave and HP, upgrade his brave and HP attack, so brave will become kick attacks plus, more kicking, and his HP attack will become HP attack plus plus. Kick attacks plus and HP attack plus plus have the capabilities to extend the duration of Wife's Encouragement by 1 turn upon using them while Wife's Encouragement is active. So I would say if you have a good amount of brave on Yang already, just use his upgraded brave and HP attack to extend Wife's Encouragement. All right, so base kit, press buttons, kick away. With his LD ability, with his new buff, things get more interesting if played correctly. With his Oboro Strike, I almost said Ouroboros, or my Resident Evil fans, 4 uses of this, he will grant himself a brand new buff called Monastic Secrets for 2 turns. The duration is pretty low, but like I just said, if played correctly, the trade-off is really good. What Monastic Secrets is going to be doing for your party, there's going to be party-wide aura, so there's going to be plus 20% gain in stolen max brave overflow. Your party members will increase their physical attack up by 40%, so I'm sorry, magic units, you will not benefit from this physical attack up. Your party members can't be broken, which can come in handy, and this is also carried over to the LD call action for 1 turn, but this is the juice of it. This is the beefy part of it right here, is that after any form of attack on the field, any attack, your party members, the enemies, any form of attack, Yang will follow up with he will trigger a follow-up called Monastic Secrets follow-up. So treat it almost like Noctis. With his burst effect, those familiar with Noctis, whenever something happens, there will be a follow-up. Yang does that. The beautiful part about this is that this can also happen during a burst mode. So ideally, you want to have Monastic Secrets as you're about to go into a burst mode, just to dish out more damage during that burst mode. You're just going to see Yang flying all over the damn place with his kicks. Another beautiful thing is that you can pair him up with units that can go back to back. For example, like Terra or Lightning, right? Terra uses her LD ability, goes back to back. Yang will attack or trigger his follow-up every time she goes. So again, him just flying back and forth all over the damn field. So again, ideally you want to have this active when you're about to do something big, or if you have the capabilities to go back to back or have units, or truthfully with any unit that has a burst weapon. Now, when it comes to the worthiness of Yang, I'm going to rate him a little bit lower, just a little bit above somewhat worthy, but below worthy of your tickets and or gems. I'm not saying Yang is bad. I'm not saying Yang is bad. He's a good AoE unit, but we do have other AoE units already in the game, and we have already a fantastic one called Squall, just with his LD weapon, with his follow-ups, and he is a part of the Start Dash campaign banner. So if you already have that, then you might not need Yang on your team composition. But if you want to take full advantage, if you want to have extra damage during those burst mode, or if you can pair him up with some of those units like I mentioned, like Terra or Lightning, again, just a few examples, then maybe add Yang onto your team compositions just to have more damage during those certain phases. All right, friends, so if you are planning on skipping out on Yang, he does make a comeback also on Yuna's burst banner, but alongside Barrett's LD weapon. And Barrett does receive a rework LD, nice range damage. All right, friends, so at the end of the day, I'm going to put him somewhere in between. But again, if you want to have fun with Yang, if you don't have units that are good AoEs, then maybe consider pulling on this banner. Because overall, for a new player, this is a pretty good banner to go on because of Desch, because of the survivability, what he can do for your party members. And you have an AoE unit like Yang. So if we're looking at the overall banner, this is a good banner. But if we're looking at individually, Yang is somewhere in between somewhat worthy and worthy of your tickets and or gems. All right, friends, so that is it for this video, friends. Thank you guys for watching my recap of Desch and Yang. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about both of these characters and if you're going to be going for them. Me personally, I already have Desch's LD from before, and I already have units that can do some good AoE damage, so I don't need Yang on my team compositions. So outside of that free multi-draw that we should be receiving due to the main fair, I'm not going to be pulling on this banner. Now, I do believe maybe I undervalued Yang just a little bit, but I'm going to say that my decision at the end of the day stands firm. All right, friends, so that's what I'm going to be doing for this banner. Be sure to let me know what you're going to be doing down below in the comments. All right, friends, so until next time, good luck and have a good one.